Okay, I'm starting recording because it's 7 o'clock and I'm going to be hungry soon, so I'm going to try to get this done. And Long-Winded Champ is not here. I miss him dearly, but he is having fun with Tony Horton in Jackson Hole. If you guys didn't see my post today, here's what he just sent me. That he is, well, you can't really see it.
Nice.
But yeah, so he's having fun with Tony Horton in Wyoming while I'm here taking care of the humble abode. But I'm glad you guys jumped on, and I am recording this because I know this time doesn't work for everyone, but we'll try to make it a thing, and we'll see if people rearrange their schedules to get on. But being on live is always fun because I am going to have some time at the end that if we have specific questions and stuff that comes up, we can kind of answer those. But I wanted to start kind of with a Jimmy-esque rant that came into my head today as I was rushing off to an Orange Theory class. So I was telling Kirsten, we had a little call before this. I got a last-minute text. So most of you know, like at the end of the month, I'm doing a certification to become a live trainer at a studio near me, and I'm really excited about it. So I'm trying to jump in on as many classes as I can to get familiar with the format and kind of see different trainers and styles and stuff. And they're all full. Like, this thing is sweeping the nation and classes are full. But I was sitting in a meeting from 3:30 to 5, and I got a text that was like, hey, we have openings at our 5:15 if you can make it over. And I'm like, ah, okay. So I snuck out of my first meeting a little bit early. I rushed home, got clothes, changed on my way over, and I jumped in. And I jumped in like just in time. And the whole shtick behind Orange Theory is that it's heart rate based training. So you wear a heart rate monitor, and there's a big screen that shows like if you're in the green zone, which is like warming up, the orange zone is where you want to be, and then the red zone is like beyond where you want to be, right? So it's very like motivating to see where you are, and it helps push you, and it's kind of like a good accountability that's up there. Well, of course, because I came in late like a bat out of hell, I didn't get hooked up properly. So my heart rate monitor wasn't showing on the screen. And in my head, I'm like, this sucks. Because literally, like, the only reason that I go there, like, to work out is so that I can see how hard I'm pushing myself. Because, you know, in your house, you're kind of going through the motions sometimes. You don't realize it. And so there, like, it's a really good way to track that I'm actually pushing hard. And so I caught myself, like, at the beginning of class, she's like, okay, now we're all out. Like, everyone should be in the orange. And I'm sitting there on my rower just feeling sorry for myself that I didn't have, like, the instant gratification of seeing my thing turn to orange. And I was like, this is crap. Like, this is a perfect Beachbody lesson right here, right now. Like, nobody can see what I'm doing, and I can't see what I'm doing, but I still need to do it anyway. And so I gave my all during that class, and I know if my heart rate monitor was going, it would have been in the orange, and I had to feel okay with knowing that, even though it wasn't on the board. Nobody got to see how many points I got. I didn't get the cool email after, but I did the work, and I felt good about it, and I know I pushed myself, even though I wasn't getting that instant feedback. And we were talking about it in the fact of, like, there's a lot of people in this business that are working really stinking hard day in and day out, and they're not seeing 18 coaches signing up with them, or they're not getting 100 likes on their posts, even though they're putting out great content and they're plugging in every day and doing the vital behaviors and putting out actually really good content that they should get 100 likes on. But it doesn't mean that it's not working, and it doesn't mean that it's not planting seeds, and it doesn't mean that people aren't seeing it and it's not working. Like, just because nobody saw my orange box light up doesn't mean that my heart wasn't beating and that my calorie burn isn't going to be going for the 24 to 36 hours that it should be. And so I just really want to remind you guys that it's not always going to be instant gratification. And this message is going out to myself as much as it's going out to you guys, that you are working really hard and you know it. And I know that you know it because you're doing it day in and day out. And I don't want you to get frustrated or kind of half-ass it because you're not seeing it right away. And I really just want you to know that no matter what shows up in your back office or whatever you see on the rank advancements or see on your commission check, if you put in the work day in and day out, you should feel good about yourself. I love the little baby.
She's cute.
So that was my little rant that I wanted to go on just to start the call, because I was really frustrated about my darn splat points, and I wanted to let all you know that I worked really hard tonight, because now I'm going to get delayed gratification from all of you. So thank you. Thank you for being my sounding board so that I feel good about myself. Okay, the second thing that was another rant was about Champ, and he was going to try to jump on. I don't know how he thinks he's going to do that, because I didn't give him a code to jump on the meeting, but it's kind of like a billboard / commercial for getting your significant others interested in Beachbody if they're not already. And it's not for everyone. And I also just want to share with you that it is 2016 now. I started doing Beachbody in 2009. I met Champ in 2013. And in 2016, Champ is just now getting involved. The calls that we've had the last like 2 to 3 weeks are the first times Champ has ever gotten involved in a team call.
Oh, wow.
So all of you are seeing him involved now, but please don't let me pretend that it's always been that way. And I love him dearly, and I will make him watch this replay. So I'm not bad-mouthing him in the least, but it's not his jam. Like, it's not like he took that picture with Tony Horton, and I guarantee it was only because he knew that I would be upset if he didn't. Like, he doesn't care about Tony Horton, just like I don't care about some weird snowboarding guy that he said he was going to try to meet up with. Like, it's just we have different interests, but he does the programs, he uses Shakeology every day, and now finally he's starting to see some of the benefits that are maybe a little bit different than what I was presenting to him in the first place. And so that's kind of my message to you is, like for me, the draw of Beachbody was the community and like the warm fuzzies and connecting with all of you on my phone. And like, that's not his language. Like, he didn't speak that way. He needed to hear about the numbers. He needed to have the trips incentivized, and he did meet people, but it wasn't the same way that I did. Like, I love the people because it motivates me and it keeps me accountable. And these guys that he's met, he bonded with them over the fact that they're willing. He literally told me on the phone, he's like, guys aren't like girls. They just whip out the numbers right away and they want to talk about business. And I love that about them. And I'm like, cool, like, go measure your swords and come home and work harder, you know? But that to him is like how he talks and how he gets motivated. And he also has a whole new respect for the fact that they all quit their jobs and they're in Wyoming from Monday to Friday skiing without having to get any interruptions from their boss. And his friends, he has great friends here, but none of them can afford to do anything. They don't want to go and travel because they don't have the money and they can't get the time off. And so he's found a group of friends who can be as flexible and have fun like he likes to have that he wouldn't have met if it wasn't for Beachbody. And so it's a different kind of thing, but you have to kind of think about maybe what your significant other is driven by. And so for him, that was it. It was the numbers. It was those guys being just like a fun group of dudes to be around. And, you know, you've seen it. He's now excited about it, and it's really fun for me. But I see a lot of your posts, and I see a lot of you that are just not feeling that support from the other side. And please, please don't let my chapter 12 be compared to your chapter 1. I had those days too. I was in tears at our crew retreat last year, just sobbing, saying, I wish he could get it. And it took that, and it took putting that a different spin on it and a different message on it for him to finally like realize how much it meant to me to have him be on board with me. And he'll never want to do all the same things that I do. He will never get on Facebook. He will never be all over social media posting Shakeology in his hand, but he doesn't have to, because I know that he supports when I do that, and he does it in his own way. And he's finding his niche, and it's really cool to see. And so I just really wanted to share that too, because I wanted to make sure you understood that it wasn't always like that. And it's awesome now. And it's like, I'm so, but it wasn't always that way. So don't feel bad if it's not that way for you. Just be patient And like I've told a lot of you, consistency, 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 because there's nothing better in the world than being like, told you so. Right, Madison? So that was my other message about that. So 2 other just little housekeeping things that I wanted to tell you about. One is something that was brought to our attention, and I think I posted about it on Team Titanium, but I might not have, so I wanted to do it on this call. The Coach mobile app, which, just assuming that I didn't post about it anywhere, because I probably didn't, the Coach mobile app, for those of you that don't know, is something that you can put on your phone. It's a website, but you can set it as an app on your phone, and it's like my new best friend because it makes a quick link. Yes, thank you, Jenny. It makes a quick link that you can literally just put in the person's email address, select what they want to buy or how they want to sign up, and it just sends them an email that they just click and complete. It makes it so nice and non-messy. Because if we send people the instructions, go to beachbodycoach.com/Team Titanium, then you click coach, and then you pick this challenge pack, and it's going to say it's $40, but that's okay, just keep going, and then click the challenge pack, and then check out, and it's fine, it's cool, it's totally, no, because guess what, they see just a lot of work, and if they think it's a lot of work to sign up for being a coach, they're probably going to think that being a coach is a lot of work. So we want to make things as easy as possible for these people, because it is easy, it's not hard. So the app is awesome. Well, app, I keep calling it an app. It's not really an app. It's a website that you turn into an app, but you know what I mean. So after this call, I will post the link that you can just click on your mobile device, and then you click on an iPhone, you click add to home screen, and it makes that handy dandy little icon for you. And all you have to do is put in your coach ID or email and your password, and then everything like auto-populates for you. It also has a really cool feature where you can see who you've sent it to, when they viewed it, when they started it, and if they completed it. So it really helps with tracking too, and it gives you kind of a easy out to start a conversation. Like, there's a girl I sent it to 2 days ago, and it's still in the started column. So I messaged her yesterday and said, hey, I saw you started to work on your coach sign up. Did you run into some snags that I can help you with? So now I know that she's looked at it. She probably got scared off by something, and now I can bring it back up in conversation. Come to find out, she's waiting till later in the week because she's moving or something like that. But then I said, great, can I check back with you on Friday? And I always set an appointment time to follow back up. Because if you don't, then there's the fear that you're annoying them or you're bothering them. If they give you the okay to check back in with them, then it's not a nuisance because you're just following up on what you said you would do. So I highly recommend, if you are talking to somebody about buying a product, buying a program, signing up as a coach, you set up a time and say, when are you going to do this? Like, let me check back in with you to make sure if you have any problems. You know what I mean? So if they start it, I always check back in with them, even if they didn't agree to it. I just do. And then after that conversation, I say, well, let me follow up with you on Saturday to make sure you got all signed up, and I'll get you plugged into our training, whatever. Now that brings me back to, well, before that brings me back to the training. Sorry, I look like a drowned rat, by the way. I really apologize. But that brings me back to, you're my people. I just love you so much because you laugh at my jokes. They make me so happy. But also, the other thing that's great about this app, and I was telling somebody on a message today, that if there's people in the past that you've talked to about buying a challenge pack, signing up as a coach, anything, this is a really freaking awesome excuse for you to reach back out to them. And here's the message that I send. I say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Beachbody just came up with this new tool that I can use to help you check out so much easier. I say, the instructions I sent you before are way too complicated. If you just give me your email address, I can send you a direct link so you don't even have to think about it. So I make it seem like it's a new thing because they don't know. And if they do, then they should probably be a coach. But I use that as something to open back up the conversation with somebody that I have kind of left hanging, that's gone ghost on me, or that never gave me a solid answer. I just say, oh my gosh, there's this new tool. Like, let me get your email and I'll send it to you so you can finish that process. So it's really a great thing that you can kind of put on someone else, but it brings it back into the conversation. So that was a really exciting thing that I thought of today, and I was really proud of myself for it. And then the other thing was, so check back in with them and say, like, I want to get you plugged into our training. And that brings me to the other exciting thing that I'm really jazzed about, that there's going to be some trainings that are going to be rolled out. And one of them is already a 5-day training that the only person that's ever seen it or gone through it is Madison. Because when Madison signed up, she was one of my first people ever that was like, hey, okay, cool, I'm ready to coach. What do I do? And I was like, I don't really know. Most people that I sign up just want to jump in the groups, and they're not really interested in building their business. So I better figure out what you're supposed to do now, because I don't really know. So again, don't think that this is my chapter 1, because I've been doing this for a really long time and I had no idea what to tell her. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I should figure that out. So I made a website, and it took her through like 5 days of jobs to do, like go through your quick start guide, do the memory jogger, set up your first clean eating group, and it gives them menus to choose from and like literally a template of like how to set up a clean eating group. And then it tells them to join like Team Titanium. It tells them to go join one of my old challenge groups so they can kind of like see the format of how it's run. But it basically gets them to start their own first group. So it really gives them the basics of how to become a coach. Now, the second phase, which I'm hoping to work on this weekend, and heaven willing, I will finish it, is the second 5 days, which will be kind of like a crash course to Emerald. So the idea is, as you bring in new coaches, you plug them into, and it's like a do it on your own. Like Madison, bless her soul, took a few days and she was like, okay, I haven't looked at it yet. Okay, I haven't looked at it yet. And then she's like, okay, I did all 5 days today. So that's the thing, is like, I am a binge watcher on Netflix. Anyone else? Anyone else a binge watcher on Netflix? Right. So if you told me I had to watch 1 episode every day next week, I probably wouldn't do it. But if I could do all 5 episodes when I'm feeling the need, then I would do it. So I think instead of doing like 1 a day, like groups like we've done in the past with Coach Basics, I want to just put it all up there. So when you're motivated and you're excited and you're working through and you're like, I got more steam, you can go on to the next day. The other cool thing about it was that there were certain points in there where I could tell what Madison was doing, because on day 2, it told her to join Team Titanium Coach Connection. So when I saw her request come through to join that group, I knew that she was on day 2. And on day 4, it told her to join the Thanks and Planks Challenge. So when that request came through, I knew she was on day 4. So there were little flags in there that kind of told me as her coach where she was. And on day 2, which I skipped because I still was a chicken back when Madison signed up a solid like 3 weeks ago. And I still am a chicken, which is why day 2 will include setting up a call with Champ. So I'm basically going to put his phone number in there and tell people to text him, and I'm not going to tell him. And I'm just going to see what happens when a bunch of people text him and are like, hey, I need to set up a call with you. So don't tell him. Surprise! That's what he gets for being in Wyoming right now. So that's going to be part of the Get Started Right thing. It's totally cool that it's on the internet, I think. That's fine, right? Cool. So the goal is to have 10 days to get your coach started right. And then what I was talking to with Kimmy was that after those 10 days, if they've hit Emerald, which is the idea, then they would be added into like a mentorship thread, kind of like we have going with the Push to Diamond group, because I think that's the best way to get one-on-one coaching with the people that are actually trying to build their business. So that would be the criteria for getting into a like mentorship thread with myself and whatever other coaches are willing to help lead it. And so I think we would do that like monthly, and that would change over. Like whoever got to Emerald that month would be in a coaching group with us. But that's all still to be ironed out. But thumbs up, thumbs down. How does that sound to everyone? Good? Yes? Cool. And so people who are coaches already that just never really did it, I recommend everyone going through it, just because there's steps that, and Frank could become Emerald! You're my guinea pig. I can't wait for you to text Champ and be like, I'm calling to set up my call. Hello, this is Frank. Hello. But I think it'll be really good. And I think that it's going to be a way to make this duplicable. I've been talking a lot with people who have like income goals or volume goals. And a lot of what we're doing is reverse engineering, like how much volume you need. And the way that I figure that out is how many coaches you need in your downline, basically. So if you just imagine that every coach is worth 90, because that's the minimum that you need basically to be drinking Shakeology, then that's how I reverse engineer things. I take, if 5,000 is your goal, because that's what it is to get on the Disney trip, you divide 5,000 by 90, which means you need 55 coaches. Now, I see the eyes going like this. 55 coaches, but when I break it down like this, you may realize how non-threatening that is. If you have 55 coaches, they don't all have to be your personally sponsored coaches. They're just coaches in your downline. So if you have a coach who becomes Emerald, then that counts as 3. If you have a coach that becomes Diamond, that counts as 12. So the idea is to bring in coaches and help train them on how to become Emerald. Because if that's the case, then you only need 18 coaches. So it kind of, when you break it down that way, if we can just continue to bring in people and help them become Emerald, which is the idea of the business, is to be duplicable so you're not having to hustle for the rest of your life. Passive income, I think, is the eventual goal for a lot of people. Then it's all about bringing in people, teaching them how to bring in 2 new people. I mean, it's like the very stereotypical pyramid-y thing, but it's how this business is duplicable, and it's how you're going to easily get those numbers. Like I was telling her on our call earlier, Champ has like 280 people in his downline, but they are not all of our personally sponsored coaches. We only have about 50 personally sponsored coaches. So those are all from everyone else's people that are part of our downline. So does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell if I'm breaking up or if everyone else is breaking up. Am I breaking up?
Occasionally.
I can't tell. I'm just going to keep talking. Oh, the last thing was Power Hour. And so I asked oh, I see thumbs up now. That's really late. It says unstable, but okay. So the last thing was Power Hour, and I asked everyone to kind of bring a list of things that you do that are related to the Beachbody business. And we would kind of talk a little bit about Power Hour and how to be effective with the business and activities that are going to be producing things that are going to make your business grow. So I'm going to make a master list based on what everyone tells me so that we can just make like a big long Power Hour list for Team Titanium so that you have some ideas to choose from. I have a Power Hour list that I roughly follow. It changes a little bit from day to day. But I figure if we can all just kind of share some of the things that we do on a daily basis, I work better off of a list. So I was thinking that maybe everyone else would too. So I think for me, it's easiest to just go in order of how I see it on the screen, which I know is not how everyone else sees it on the screen. But Carissa, do you have a list of what you do? Actually, can you talk?
I
You look
do,
like you're
yeah.
busy.
No, I can talk.
Okay.
I was just folding laundry, that's all.
Oh, okay.
Nothing
Can you come
fun.
to mine?
What?
It's been in the dryer for 3 days.
So was mine.
Okay, good. All right. What do you do for business during the day?
Not what I should be doing every single day, but I am working on it. I
Okay.
am making it a point to listen to Jimmy's call, whether it's live or replay. I've been listening to Jimmy's call every day this past week.
Awesome.
I am inviting not as many as I should be inviting, as I think I should be inviting at least, but I am inviting.
How many do you think you should be? I was thinking how many?
Well, I've only been sending like 2 or 3. I mean, I add friends new friends every day, like we talked about that one time, but I'm not sending a lot of messages, maybe like 2 or 3 a day. So I think I should be sending more than that because it's just more people that I'm reaching. I'm still just trying to get out of that little box of mine.
Yeah. Okay.
If I do get responses back, I follow up with them. I drink my Shakeology every single day. I do not work out every single day, but I'm trying to get back in that. You know me, Vicky.
Okay.
And
Like, don't try to tell me you work out every day because I know it. I know.
No, I know I'm not.
Okay.
I knew you'd call me out on it if I said I worked out every day too. And I'm posting at least twice a day. That I'm doing.
Okay, good.
And that's my list. Because I just
cool.
right before the call. I forgot.
That's good though. Okay, cool. And for those of you that don't know, Jimmy is our like up line. He's like my great grand coach. So he's like your uber great, super great grand coach. And he does amazing training videos every morning live on Facebook it's 7 a.m. my time. I think it's
my time.
9 o'clock Texas
time.
Does it at
Yeah, so it's on Facebook Live. His name is Jimmy Hayes Nelson, and if you're not following him, you should be, because he's full of great insight and knowledge, and he loves helping people. And he's got really great stuff lately. He's just like pumping out content like it's his job, because it is his job. Weird. Okay, cool. Kirsten?
Okay. Do you want me to just all of them, even if it's stuff Chris has already said?
Yeah.
Okay. So I do my personal development first thing in the morning, because it really gets me in the right frame of mind. I've been doing Jimmy's videos in the morning, and literally instead of listening to music, I just pop on like the Entrepreneur Roller Coaster, or my friend just recommended another book that I can get on like YouTube for free. So I'm going to start listening to that. And then I work out. I didn't work out today, but I'm doing Insanity Max 30, so today's my rest day. But then I drink my Shakeology 2-ish times a day, sometimes 3, depends on the day. And then I invite tons of people. Lately, my goal has been 20 people a day. Okay. Yesterday, I did 60, so because I knew that today would be busy, so I didn't know if I would get to my full 20.
Okay.
I've been posting 3 times a day, and then I set daily, weekly, and monthly goals for myself to like check off, because I like crossing things off. It's really cathartic for me. So I like write stuff down on my list and cross it off immediately, even if it wasn't on my list to begin with.
Make list.
Nailed it. Make a list. Crossed it off. And then another thing that I picked up from Jimmy is my job, or maybe it was Shalene, I can't remember, but is to add value to my social media group. So I'm part of like a travel fitness group. I'm part of lots of travel groups too, but like, so what I'll just do is I'll just scroll in those groups for like, I don't know, 10 minutes like total for all of them, and I'll just comment on like one person's thing. In the fitness stuff, I'll like be like, oh yeah, you should be doing like complex carbs, so like do this and that instead of like the white rice, like that kind of stuff. Just add value so that I'm on their radar.
Cool. I like that.
That's all I got.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Welcome.
Just quick clarification question. So when you're sending out those 20 invites a day, that's like you're sending them a private message?
Yeah, I'm private messaging them, and sometimes they don't like say hi back, because normally I like to start out with, hi, how are you? Most of the time I get, hi, I'm good, how are you? And like it literally just starts out like that, but then I'm like, good, what are you up to? And they tell me all about their life and they reciprocate, and that's when I'd be like, I'm a Beachbody coach now and it's awesome and I love it. And like that's kind of my in. That's the in I've been using. And a lot of people receive it really well. And if they don't ask me about it, then I'll be like, oh, hey, by the way, I'm trying to help a lot of people this year. So like, if you know of anyone, like, let me know. And I add all the options like weight loss, if you want to like get healthy again, if you want to get back in shape, or if you know of anyone who's looking for a job, like, let me know. or can you connect us, like that sort of stuff.
Cool. Okay, so just it's kind of sending out and like reaching out and connecting with people.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Nice. Jenny, you're next.
Hello.
Hi.
So my car is kind of like an all-day thing right now, just because I actually resigned from my job. My husband is a firefighter, so I wanted a little bit more flexibility. And actually, it's a good thing because he just got offered a position up in Central California, so we might be, moving around a little bit, but we'll see. So I guess I start out every morning. I try and listen to Jimmy every single morning. I think I skipped Monday and Tuesday this week, but I went back and I did listen to them later. But I definitely like to listen to them live because I feel like it gets me going for the day. It gets me pumped up and motivated, especially today when he said, you got to show up.
Yeah.
And that's my new hashtag now, show up. So,
it was such a good message.
Yeah, it was definitely a good message. So, and then I, after that, I do my workout every day. I drink my Shakeology. I, post on Facebook multiple times a day. I'm starting to do little videos every single day now. I'm just going to make it a habit just to make little short videos.
Awesome.
I have a different, I stated this before, I have a different demographic than a lot of you. Obviously you guys most of you know, I'm going to be 40 this year. So my demographic, my demographic is, they're all set in their career. A lot of them don't really want to bother with, a beach body or, getting an extra business on the side, but I'm going to try and, put a different spin on it, to get maybe some, they can earn extra cash. Everybody wants to get in shape and eat healthier. We're all looking for something to add value, I guess, to our lives and make us feel better about ourselves. And I think Beachbody does that. So I'm just going to keep sharing that message over and over and over again. And hopefully it will work. So.
Well, and as you do it more and more, people are going to come to expect that from you. Kind of like I come to expect your fast motion video collage. I don't see that. I'm like, is the world ending? But I love it. I love seeing it. And then when Frank's not in it, I'm like, well, did Frank work out today? I need to know. So when you made yours at work, I was like, well, this is good because I need to know.
Yeah, I do it at work, but I have a multimedia policy with my department that I'm not allowed to post on Facebook with my departmental stuff without approval from my higher ups. And when I work out at work, I'll send it to her to verify, to show her that I actually did the workouts, just so she knows that I'm here to support her. And I also like doing the workouts. And actually what I'm trying to do is challenge the guys at work, because they're all big CrossFitters, and say, you know what, so was I until I started doing this. And I said, I poo-hooed it when my wife started doing it, and it kicked my butt. And so I try and challenge guys to do it. I still haven't gotten any takers yet because I'm with a bunch of alpha males who, unfortunately, yeah, exactly. So that's the problem that I run into.
I know that kind. Me too. Everyone's like, yeah. Awesome. Okay, what else, Jenny?
Just, really, I've been setting an alarm every day and doing my personal development every day for at least an hour. I know they say just 20, 30 minutes, but for me, I feel like an hour is better, because I need it. I have suffered from depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress. So I don't want that to creep back into my life again. And I'm doing something that I love, I'm passionate about. And so I'm just going to keep working at it, and it's going to grow. It's going to take some time. Just got to build it. So.
Yep. And just keep showing up. And honestly, with all that personal development, you're going to hear things in it that are going to give you a message to share in those videos.
Yes.
So, it's going to trigger something that's going to make you think oh, that applies to me in this way. And you can share that message with your own voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, nice. All right, Madison, you're next up.
Hi.
Hi.
Just really quick, I want to say there's two of my new coaches on the call right now. They're Kaylin and Tiffany.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really proud of them for coming on tonight. Tiffany can't figure out how to make herself appear. She's on her iPhone.
Yeah.
I don't know how to help her.
I'm trying to think of what the app looks. You're on an iPhone app, Tiffany?
She doesn't know how to talk either.
Hold on, let me pull up my app. Because I think there's controls, but she can hear us, yes?
Yeah, she's like chatting with me on the Zoom chat.
Because I know there's like a way to unmute yourself. Actually, I bet I can unmute her. Ha! Ha! And I can ask her to start the video. Did something pop up, Tiffany? You should be unmuted now.
Oh, there she is. Whoa. Okay.
All
I just
right.
wanted to say hi to Tiffany and Kaylin really fast. And
Introducing them. Okay, Tiffany, I'm gonna remute you just for a second, okay? Okay, go ahead, Maddie.
okay. Oh, my list, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. The noise is coming from me right now for the babies, but can you still hear me? Okay. When I wake up, I check my messages and make sure no one has like asked me a question in the middle of the night kind of thing. I go to bed really early. And then I kind of get a game plan of who I'm going to check in with that day also, so I know and I don't like forget about people, because that's happened before where I totally forgot somebody was interested and then I never got back to them, you know, and it's like I noticed like a month later, I'm like, oh, you know, so that's good. I have some seeds planted from a few months ago because I was the one who didn't check in, which is awesome now. But the second thing would be my workout. I actually usually do the workout at the same time as I listen to Jimmy now, because I listen to Jimmy every morning. So because I only have really a 30-minute window before the kids wake up, so I just do both at the same time. Then I drink my Shakeology, and then I either make a post right then, or I plan what my post is going to be for the day, either one or two things that have to do with Beachbody or not. And that's like my post to invite or inform. That's what I have written down on my official list here.
Ooh, that's nice work.
Yeah. Then send out messages, you know, personal messages, and then also I just started like adding new friends on Facebook too, because I didn't really think about that until I saw Vicki. You said that that's one thing you do is add new people, and like people that, you know, I have mutual friends with, not just really random people. Like what happened today with that Norwood, I don't even know what that was. Okay, side note.
Added us and was like messaging Madison, like, tell me more about yourself.
It was really awkward. Yeah, but basically what I've been doing that's been working is just going and like liking people's statuses and commenting like positive things on people that I haven't talked to in a while, to kind of like open up conversations, and then they kind of say, oh wow, like you're looking really good, what are you doing? So that kind of opens the door a lot to different people who I wouldn't normally reach out to. So
I like that.
that was the last thing on my list.
Nice. That's great. Cool. Okay. Let's see who else we have on here. Lauren, do you want to participate in this, or do you want to pass? Because I know you're newer. So I don't know. Are you frozen?
Frozen.
It looks like she's mean mugging me. No, I want to play. Lauren, are you still there? Oh, there you are.
Yeah, sorry. My mom was like calling and calling and calling, thinking I'm dead over here. I'm okay. I'm on a Beachbody call.
Oh my God, but you were
Good. Sorry.
You were frozen. The most resting bitch face ever. You were like, no.
Yes.
So do you have things you do every day?
I don't really. I mean, listening to everybody else, I kind of made a list of things that I would just start doing, but the Shakeology, yes. The working out is 99% of the time. And then I started doing, when I do post daily, I'm messaging the people like you had suggested about, just like, hey, thanks for being positive. Thanks for your feedback. And then I've had good results with that.
Awesome.
So, but it's a learning experience, and day by day, I'm getting better and getting more confident. And so.
And that's why I thought it would be good. And for the girls that are also jumping on, like, I know this is all kind of like probably very overwhelming right now because it is just new, but I thought it would be good to just kind of hear all the little things, because I would just recommend like picking one or two that you feel comfortable doing to start out. And that's how we all started, was just like, okay, today I'm going to go like some people's pictures, or today I'm going to send a message to somebody. But just to review the 3 vital behaviors, which are like corporate came down from the heavens and said, these are the things you shall do to be a successful coach, are number 1, be proof the product works. So that's the push, play, and drink Shakeology. Every day you should be doing a workout, and every day you should be doing Shakeology. So raise your hand if you do that. Are you a product of the product? Raise your hand if you are a product of the product. Cool. Oh, Tiffany, have you not gotten yours yet? We can hear you now. Oh, wait, no.
No, she's muted.
Hold on.
She's not muted, though.
No.
Maybe her headphones don't work.
Boo. She did get her package yesterday.
Okay.
She's planning to start on Monday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the first vital behavior, is be proof the product works. And that's like often misconception, like that you have to be like the perfect after picture. But to be completely honest, I've had the most success in my business when I'm not, when I'm just like sharing authentically my journey. And honestly, the most traction I ever get on posts is when it's like a reverse before and after. It's like, here was me when I was really good, and here's me after my birthday and Christmas. And that's like when people can identify with you, because oftentimes if you're like at that pinnacle of fitness and perfection, people are like, oh, well, that's not anywhere in the realm of possibility for me. So a lot of people, and you're going to find this when you talk to people who you think would make a fantastic coach because they're on such a compelling journey, they're going to say, oh, but I'm not ready yet, or like, I want to wait until I do the program, or, oh, when I lose 5 more pounds, then I'll join you. And honestly, the biggest thing that I've heard from people who are successful coaches is that they wish they joined sooner so they could have shared that whole journey. Because like Martin Ort, I don't know if you guys follow him. He's one of the coaches on Team Titanium. He's ripped as a motherfucker. And he didn't join as a coach until he'd already lost like 100-some pounds. And he said he wished that people had seen the dark ages, that's what he calls it, when he used to eat fast food for every meal, and when he couldn't even like walk to keep up with his wife. Like, that was a really bad time for him. And he got out, like, he is the rare unicorn. He was a coach lead of mine. Like, I didn't find him. He was randomly assigned to me because he decided that he wanted to be a coach and help other people. And he said he wished he would have done it sooner, because so many more people that were the Martin of the dark ages probably could have identified with him and seen his whole journey. And now he's only getting like the people that are marginally fit and want to get really ripped. You know what I mean? So like, enjoy every part of the journey and share it all. Like, I'm not at my wedding weight right now because that was unsustainable, but I still share like my ups and my downs, and that's when people are going to be able to identify with you. And being vulnerable is hard, and it sucks sometimes when you have to share the uncomfortable things, but that's how you're going to draw people in, because they identify with those moments. You know what I mean? So being proof the product works doesn't mean being a perfect after picture all the time. It means showing up, pushing play, sharing your journey. So that's the first vital behavior. So everybody should be doing that. And it doesn't mean that you have to be working out 7 days a week. There's rest days, there's life, whatever, but just be showing that you're on that journey. The second behavior is invite, invite, invite. And I once heard Carl's like the most compelling speaker ever, but he was once like, it's invite, 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 because you shouldn't just do it once. You have to do it many times. And so it's just basically putting the opportunity out there. And one thing that Melissa, who's another coach on our team, has said, and I love it, it's that posting isn't the same as inviting. Putting out the fact that, hi, I'm doing P90X today and drinking my Shakeology, is not the same as saying, hey, would you like to join me? Or, hey, like, if you want more information, reach out to me. Or sending a private message and saying like, hey, you know, I'm here if you need me. It's not the same thing. There's broadcasting, which is great, and it's an essential part of our business, but inviting is different. Inviting is actually reaching out to people and inviting them in, just like you would invite them to a party. You know what I mean? And that's what I think of this as. It's like a party, and I want to invite everyone to it. You know what I mean? Right? I mean, come on. So invite, 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 and that's sending those messages, but also connecting with people. And I love what Madison said about how she goes on people's pages and just likes their stuff and leaves positive comments. And one thing that I recommend people doing, and oh, I didn't tell you my power hour list, but one of the things that I like to do is I just like to engage with people. So my power hour says add 3 people and engage with 3 people. And that does not have anything to do with health or fitness. I literally just send them a message and say, hey, I was thinking about you because insert reason that I genuinely was thinking about them. Like, how are things going? And there is not an ulterior motive there. Like, I really genuinely think about people all the time. And why wouldn't I reach out to them? Like, we don't do it because it's awkward and it's weird and people always think we have another motive. And sure, do I hope that they've been watching me and that they're curious and that they want to join the team? Of course, because I literally want everyone to be a Beachbody coach. Like, it's a sickness and I don't know how to cure it because I just feel like everyone would be happier if they were. But that's not why I reach out to these people. Like, I reach out to these people because I've told people before, the worst case scenario is they don't answer. That's the worst case. The next worst case is that we just have a conversation and catch up. And I think that's pretty cool too. And even if those people don't decide to join you on your journey, they might know someone who wants to, and they might think of you when that person asks them for help. And you don't always have to put that in their ear either. You don't always have to ask for the referral, because if people really genuinely have a friend that needs help and you've reached out and been an authentically good friend, they're going to think about you because they see your stuff. They probably roll their eyes at your stuff, but they see it. Trust me, they do. They see it. They're watching. Everyone's watching all the time. It's awesome. It's like your own reality show. Social media is so cool. Okay, next, the last vital behavior. See, I shouldn't be left alone with the camera. This is why I need Champ here babysitting me, because I just talk and I just stare at myself in the camera. The last vital behavior is personal development, which is one that is huge. And if you're not doing personal development, it's gonna show. And I'm going to know it, and you're going to know it. Because when you don't do personal development, you aren't going to feel confident. You're not going to feel motivated. You're not going to feel driven. That can't come from me telling you that you're great or me telling you that you're doing a good job. Like, you have to be feeding your mind just like you feed your body and you do your workout and you do all that stuff. Like, there is no company or business or job that I've ever had that has asked me as part of the job description to make myself a better person. Like, yet another reason I love being a Beachbody coach. Like, 1/3, 33% of what they ask you to do, actually 66%, because being proof of product work is making yourself better, but is asking you to literally just look inside yourself and try to become a better version of you. Like, that's cool. Never, ever do I feel like I do that with teaching. I feel like I go to professional development that sometimes develops me professionally, but usually is just a waste of my time. With personal development, like, you pick what you think you need to work on. Like, for example, right now, a lot of us are reading The Entrepreneurial Roller Coaster because this is a hard business. Like, there's ups, there's downs. Like, it's emotional. A lot of times you think people don't understand what's going on. Like, we're reading that book because it tackles that subject. I'm reading Daring Greatly because I need to have courage to be a good leader. And so I found a book that is going to target that. And I think that's the coolest part about personal development, is that you get to tailor it to whatever you think you need in your life right now. And maybe it is about business stuff because you're interested in growing this into something that can potentially become a great financial opportunity, but maybe it's not. Maybe you just want to be a better person. And so you listen to motivational speeches because that's personal development. Maybe you pop in a podcast instead of the radio, and that's personal development. Like, I just feel like somebody said it and I don't remember who, and I'm really sorry because I'd like to give you credit, but like, I just like to start my day that way. Like, I feel like I'm better off. Like, when I drive into work, I'm listening to a podcast instead of the radio. And when I walk into school, a lot of teachers walk in there like, oh God, another day. And I walk in there like, oh man, I'm feeling energized. And then I go back out to my car, and if I had a crappy day, like, cool, I'm putting on my personal development and it's going to give me more positivity so that when I come home to Champ, like, I'm in a good mood. It makes me a better person. And being a happier, healthier person isn't just about having a six-pack and all of that stuff. Like, it's about being a balanced, well-rounded, happy human. And that's where I think personal development comes in. And if you don't know what that is, like, honestly, don't be embarrassed. Like, I didn't do personal development before I started Beachbody. And there's so many different ways you can do it. And the one that almost everyone mentioned was getting on Jimmy's call every morning. And if you don't get it live, you can watch the playback. Every morning he gives a half hour of just great personal development. And sometimes it's about the business. Sometimes it's just a message about positivity. Today it was just about showing up. Like, he always has something insightful to say, and he's in the same business as us. So obviously it's going to have some relevance to Beachbody, because it always does. On the high level or on the low level, it has something to do with Beachbody. And he's part of our team. Like, I chose to be a part of his team because I align with his vision. You chose to be a part of our team, whether it was through Kimmy or Amanda or Madison or whoever, because they aligned with my vision. Like, we all align together. So if there's one person you should be listening to, it's the person who's matriarch is the lady. What's the guy?
Patriarch.
That just sounds weird. So anyway, the patriarch of our family is talking every morning. Why wouldn't you be listening to him? I mean, honestly. So and it's free, and it's daily, and it's always there for you. So there's that. And so those are the 3 vital behaviors. So if nothing else, even if you're just signed on to be a discount coach, if you want to build the business, no matter what, that's your baseline. Everybody should be doing those 3 vital behaviors every single day. Non-negotiable. I don't want to hear excuses. You can get something done. I don't give tough love like Kimmy, but I give tough love on this. Like, you should be doing those 3 things every day. There's really no excuse not to fit them in. So, show of hands, who's going to do their 3 vital behaviors every day until next Thursday? Yay! Okay, I'm going to check on all of you. I'm watching. I recorded that, so I know I can. Wait, did Frank raise his hand? Okay, good. Okay, just making sure. Just got to check. Watching you. You're my next emerald, maybe. I don't know. Okay. So I think that's all I've got for you. We've got a couple minutes left before 8. Does anyone have any pressing questions or things they want to bring up while everyone's here? You can unmute yourself.
A quick one, but I don't know if it matters to the rest of the group. For tax reasons, for like just a discount, if I was going to discount Emerald, my sister, for how much money would she make a year if I just put 2 people under her and no one did anything? Do you happen to know that off the top of your head?
No, but
like the volume and everything?
I
was trying to do the math. And
2 people you put under her did anything. Because if she doesn't do anything, that doesn't matter. But if the people below her do stuff, then she'll make money.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be something to think about and maybe talk about later.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
I saw that the Jenny and Frank duo unmuted themselves. I'd love some motivation from your square. Brady Bunch Square.
He was asking how does he get men to do the Beachbody business, which I told him it's a challenge because it really is mostly women.
And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be a challenge.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't understand it.
So I told him my advice to him was you just got to be consistent. He has to be consistent. He has to be the product of the product, and you just keep doing it, and then once people see that he's doing it every day and they see a change, then because I think men are the type that they want, like you said, they want to see numbers, they want to see something. So if they see that, oh, okay, Frank's losing weight, or Frank's sweating his butt off out there and he's only in there for 30 minutes, hey, what are you doing? It's good. The questions are going to come.
And you're talking customers, coaches, or both?
Customers.
Okay, yeah.
Both. Coach.
We want coaches. Okay, good.
Well, customers become coaches anyway, so. But yeah, I mean, getting like a solid transformation, right? Like seeing results with what you're doing, that's going to draw people in. But like I was talking about at the beginning of the call, like what speaks to Champ is totally different than what speaks to me. And I know that he wants to set up a call with you, Frank, because we mentioned it after the last call. But like, I know for him, like, numbers talk, right? Like, his friends, like, he can just say to them, like, dude, you could be making, like, $500 a week doing this, blah, 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 blah. And, like, I would never never have that conversation with a friend. Like, that makes me feel like blushy in my face, because that's just something, and it's weird. I don't understand the double standard, but like, I just wouldn't talk like that.
Right.
Right. But for him, like, that just, it works with the people that he's talking to. And that's what, and it's figuring out what they want, right? Like, oh, you want to go on this trip with, and he said this on the last call, like, you want to go on this trip to Cancun with all these hot chicks that are all in really good shape and have a lot of money? Like, I don't know why you're not, because you could be doing that. Like, literally, when he came back from Summit in Nashville, he was like, he called all of his friends and he sent out an email. He's never done that before. He was like, I don't know why you guys aren't doing this. Come to Super Saturday. Vic's holding it, blah, 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 blah. And like 3 of his friends came. Now, they don't have follow through because they just don't get it. But
Right.
they were all like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. And I'm like, duh. You know what I mean? So it's just like a different message, but it's something that even Jimmy, they struggle with. Like, they put together the men's event to try to rally the men to like look at it in a different way. And what I noticed from like the top male coaches is that they sell the business different. Like, all the guys that Champ's on his trip with right now, the way they sell Beachbody is, I'm going on epic adventures. I retired early. I can do what I want. I'm in good shape. Like, that's their angle, and it works.
Okay.
So if that's like what your clientele would dig, then cool. I mean, if I were you and I was a firefighter, I feel like that's such a good market for, like, it's such a good market because you guys work a really weird schedule. So you've got a lot of time, I think, off, right? Like, you work on for a few days and off for a few days.
Yeah, we work 72, 96 off.
Right. So you have like time to do business building, plus like trying to get all those guys. Like, I don't know why all firefighters don't drink Shakeology. I don't know why the firehouse doesn't have Shakeology, because it's a really easy, fast meal that you could just have on the go.
Yes,
I
it
don't know
is.
why they don't all do the workouts, because they're only 30 minutes and you could do them really easily. Like, I would play up the fire thing like mad.
Right.
Like, that's your angle right there. And you find people from your station, and if you don't, then you reach out to other people. Like, oh, you're not doing this? Like, our station is, like, we all do this, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, it's such a big network of people, too.
Oh, yeah. I've been wanting to do that. Unfortunately, I don't have support from my own crew. I've got I've got certain individuals that I work with that are set in their ways, because I'm in a very senior area.
Yeah.
And so that is my struggle there when it comes to that. When I've gone out and worked overtime to other stations and throw it out there, I've gotten a few positive responses, but again, it has to, I need to know how to make the angle work on that level with other guys.
And I bet Champ could probably be a little bit more effective than I am, but like, I know what you mean, because like, for me, teachers are my niche, right? Like, I should be just selling it to all of my other teachers because it's great for them, but they're too close to me. So I can't do that. Like, I have to reach out to a bigger network of teachers. So you might just need to reach out to a bigger network of firefighters.
All right. Sounds good.
There's so many possibilities. Like, I get so excited about it when I see someone else. So I'm like, you have a perfect niche.
Well, and after we came in on the last phone call when Champ was with you, that was when the wheels started really turning. Because the minute Jenny bought in on this and I was, 100% behind her about doing it, I started thinking about the possibilities, what I could do with it as well. Mm-hmm. And not only being supportive for her, but also moving it along as well for both of us, and still being able to do what I do full time anyway.
Right.
I just have a suggestion.
Yeah.
I know a couple of ladies, their husbands are kind of like, not really too keen about Beachbody. Maybe next Thursday or Thursday after, let's invite the husbands just to sit, just to listen. I don't know if they will. Just tell them to give it maybe 10 minutes. Give it 10 minutes, and then they can go if they want to. Tell them to give it 10 minutes of their time. He's watched me for a while, And he would not work out with me. He's like, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go to the gym for 2 hours. I'm like, okay, I'm telling you, Autumn is going to kick your butt. And when she kicked his butt, he was like, oh, okay. And then now we're doing T25 and he's loving it. So just don't give up on them. Keep inviting them, keep inviting them, keep inviting them. Because eventually they're going to see that it's making you a better person too. And they're going to appreciate that. But invite them.
One thing I learned, happy wife, happy life. Okay? It's God's honest truth. So
You did talk to my husband.
But it's true, like, and I said before, they don't have to jump on board. They don't have to be a superstar coach. But if they can at least see that there's like legitimacy to it,
right.
It might at least change their outlook on it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's not something that it's not going to bring that instant gratification. Anytime you're building a business, any type of business, you're not going to start making a ton of money right away. So you have to work at this and you have to have that passion. And I know all these ladies have passion, and that makes me happy and brings me passion and inspires me. So
Molly, are you raising your hand?
I was raising my hand. I jumped on super late. And I didn't want to just like start talking over people. So I saw the little icon and I was like, I'm just gonna hit that and maybe it'll work.
I've never seen that before.
I was also gonna say, because you guys were talking about trying to market to people really close to you and how it's uncomfortable. I recently reached out to one of my babysitting clients, and it was like the most uncomfortable thing that I've ever done, because I was so worried that she was gonna take it as me being like weird and like trying to sell my products to her and like make it uncomfortable for her. And she had already tried Beachbody once after I had started it with my sister, and she didn't like it. And then she decided to start it again. And when I signed her up, I actually signed her up as a discount coach. But I was explaining to her, I babysat for her yesterday, that, I just do it by this way of when I'm a coach. Like, I encourage people who are going to sign up for it to sign up as discount coaches because they get a discount. And then she was like, oh, that's cool. And she it kind of clicked in her head. But for the Shakeology, I've actually had 5 people in the last 2 days reach out to me because they see me walk around with my Shakeology cup, and they see me post about Shakeology. So I've actually had people who are really close to me reach out to me. So for people who work in the fire department or who are teachers, I don't know if you guys take your Shakeology to work, but I found that it's been really effective at people who are around me asking what is that, what are you drinking, and then that gets the conversation started on its own, and people asking, oh, that's really great, do you like it, what are the benefits, and then the conversation starts. So I don't know if you guys already do that or not, but that's kind of something that I found works for me. So
cool.
Yeah.
And it's all about consistency too. I mean, if you brought it to work once, they probably wouldn't say anything, but you're carrying that around every day.
Yeah.
Eventually people just cave and they're like, all right, what's the pitch? Tell me about the stuff,
Yeah.
Cool. I like that. Cool. Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
All right. I think we got to call it. I'm going to stop the recording. I'll post this on the wall, and then I'm also going to type out the whole list of Power Hour stuff. So at least for those of you that are starting out, maybe you can just pick and choose a few. And then just a quick semantics. I say Power Hour. It doesn't have to be an hour that you set aside for Beachbody. It can be, but for me, my Power Hour is split up through the day. So I do, 15 minutes in the morning when I wake up. That's when I check my messages and I open up any new notifications into tabs across my screen. And then later on when I get to work, I take another 15 minutes to work my way through all those tabs. And then at lunch, I do a half hour. And then when I get home, I usually do another hour. But you can split it up throughout the day and just find a schedule that works for you, So it's not like you have to do any certain order or any certain things, but figure out which things work at which points in the day and make that work for you. But those 3 vital behaviors are non-negotiable. Don't make me get crazy. Because I will. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. All right. I love you all. Thank you for coming on, and I will see you next week. Bye.